Okay, Team Annie, taking a look at your paragraph here, and a very good effort. Just a couple of comments that I'd like to make, some things I'd like for you to look at here to add another revision to your paragraph. So looking at the second sentence, starting with according to, it's not necessary to include who researched the use of technology. Take a look at the fourth line, interactive whiteboard, and I would label this CA. And the abbreviation here is okay if you plan on using this later on in other paragraphs, which you are likely to do. The next sentence, starting with even though, I would continue the sentence after in Mexico to state why you think this, project can be applied in Mexico, or how this might be applied. Just a little bit more information just to add a little bit more detailed to your analysis sentence. And going back to this sentence, your second sentence, take another look at from it. I would probably label this as WC, word choice. And I would label this last word teaching, and I would label that CA. Take another look at your paragraph and try to make final changes for your final draft before you upload it to your blog. Okay, Team Rocio, taking a look at your first sentence. Good effort, by the way, with your paragraph. The first sentence, take a look at your punctuation. The second sentence, take a look at what you have in terms of APA. And the sentence that begins, the Civil Rights Act of Mexico, ask yourself what type of sentence is this, thinking about the meal plan. And see if you're following the meal plan in this particular paragraph. I notice there's no comments with regard to meal plan, but I would consider that in the example that you have here. Look at the last sentence as well in terms of the meal plan. I'd like for you to identify each of these sentences and see, first of all, if you can identify them as one of the four types of sentences, and then ask yourself if the types of sentences that you have here are adequate, or if they follow the meal plan. And if you feel they don't, I would make the appropriate changes so that you are using the meal plan. Certainly, if you have questions about this, we can talk about this in class, but go ahead and make those changes before uploading it to your blog. Okay, Team Adolfo, take a look at your first sentence. A good effort, by the way, with regard to your draft, your paragraph that you developed here. But take a look at your punctuation in the first sentence, specifically the comma after countries. I would probably label this as CS, comma splice. And in the fourth line, the sentence that begins, one can notice, try rewriting that sentence and choosing a different subject. So you might choose cultural varieties. You might even rearrange it completely, looking at diversity of flags. But try creating a subject that's explicit, that is not a pronoun. Okay, the next sentence, beginning with FIFA, events attract people. Take a look where you have your citation and take a look at how you have it and try to follow APA. And take a look at your very last line where you have rooting and cheering. And going back to your citation, there are actually two things that I would change, in fact, that you need to change to correct that. Also look at your title and see if that follows what we've talked about in class. So if you have any questions, try to work this out as a team, make the final corrections before you upload it in the blog, and then obviously if you have any questions, we can discuss it in class. Hello, Team Anai, good effort on your paragraph. Take a look at your title and see if the title is what we've talked about in class as far as formatting. Okay, notice you have a reference. I would also include a citation. So I'd like for you to look at your paragraph, try to identify each of the sentences as being one of the four types of sentences that we've talked about with regard to the meal plan. And when you're doing that and you find evidence sentences, include that as citation. So try to use your reference here as a citation at least 1 or 2 citations if you can in your example. Take a look at your second to the last line, your 1, 2, 3, fourth line, the sentence that ends with outside. I would probably select outside and write wrong WW, wrong word, or even word choice. I would also select take place and write WC. Other than that, everything else looks okay. Take a look at those changes. Go ahead and make those appropriate changes before uploading it to your personal blog. If you do have any questions, we can discuss those in class.